for stress. Because you're going to find, just like referring an amazing movie or a place where you had a great dinner, it's as easy to refer this platform. And it rewards you for doing such. With that, I'm going to pass it to Carl to tell you about the builder side. To you, Carl.
Great. Thanks, David. So we have two parts to the builder side. And I know some of you are thinking, oh man, I got to do this again. I got to go out and share. Actually, I'm going to go over and show you how you can build all of this without never talking to anybody if you don't want to. However, we do encourage you because it is a beautiful, beautiful program to share with people. So there are qualifications here. And I'm going to go over quickly why this is different from everything else that's out there. So in traditional businesses that you have out there and other smart contracts that they're out there, they have company owners. Company owners can control the environment. In other words, they can control what the payouts are. They can change the comp plan. They can do all that. Well, that can't happen here because what they've done is they've renounced the most important part of this entire thing, which is the actual depository treasury. So it cannot be modified. And because of that, there are no pass-up commissions. There is nothing that gets passed up to the owners whatsoever. Anything unclaimed stays in the contract, which means that each wallet is independent of the other. So each wallet has to follow the same qualifications in order to get paid. If it doesn't, then anything that grows within that wallet that isn't claimed stays in the contract. So for instance, we have a uni level that is unlimited width and 15 levels of depth. In order to open up each level of generational pay, you need to refer a wallet. In here, they're called missions, but it is a wallet just for the simplicity. And each of those wallets must have at least $125. It says 100 here, but we're telling you right now, you need to have a buffer in there because the way this contract is designed, if you fall below that $100 threshold or 300 or 500, you fall below those thresholds, your wallet gets disconnected. And any wallet that's connected to those are disconnected. So no earnings are collected until it comes above the threshold. So when you decide you want to build this thing, you need to have at least, we're going to say a $25 buffer. So we recommend on the first level, $125 in your personal staking, and any wallet you refer must have $125. So all wallets must have $125 or more in them, no matter what level they fall on. So I'm going to show you another graph here that kind of explains that. So the main is basically you. This amount, this monetary amount right here, this is basically what your main wallet needs to have in order to get paid on each of the levels. So on level 1, you must have $125 staking in your main wallet to be paid on any of the wallets you refer directly to you. And that will earn you up to 16% commissions from those people. Now, how that works is everybody gets paid whatever their next reward amount is. So the next reward amount in here, this will populate in a second. So whatever this amount is right here, this is of the people that you've referred and they've referred and so forth down all the way 15 levels. You get paid whatever that percentage match is on this amount every 8 hours. So anybody that you personally refer, whatever they're getting here, you're getting up to 16% every 8 hours. Second level up to 10%. Third level 8% and so forth down as we go back through this chart. Okay? Now, you also need to have, for every level that you open, you need to have a personally referred wallet. So 2 wallets will open up level 2. 3 wallets will open up level 3. And you have to increase your staking to the proper amount. So from 125 to 325, 325 to 525, and so forth all the way down. Now remember, all these wallets with the percentages, they require a wallet per level. If you go by this graph. Now this is generational rewards. that you can be paid. But this is where it only starts. It doesn't end here. So what we have are Dow rewards. This is what is really exciting. When you start to understand what this does, this will literally dwarf the spider web. But you get here from the spider web. So they both work together. Now, 3 independent missions. Remember, I said all these dots here, wallets, missions. All of these are missions. Everywhere you see, they're all missions that are in here. When you have 3 directly referred missions to you, or directly referred wallets that have $50,000 or more in volume in them, it now starts to open up additional rewards of 1 to 5%. So let's take a look here. So let's say you had 5 personally referred people. Maybe some of them are your wallets, maybe some aren't. And number 2, 4, and 5 started to grow and had 50,000 of volume in each of them. That then opens up the missionary rewards. And now you start to get paid 1 to 5%. Well, how does that work? Well, basically it's working the difference between the 50,000 and the 150. So you start off at 1%, and then once you get about 25,000 in, you go to 2%, and then another 25,000, 3%, another 25,000, 4%, all the way up to 150,000. And then Samurai opens up, or the V2. And now the rewards go from 2 to 10%, the difference between 150 and 300. So that's how the percentages work. Now, this is monthly, but you don't have to wait monthly. This is the beauty part. This will pay you every 8 hours. And then you will be able to turbine them out and start earning rewards at 0.3%. This is an unbelievable part here. And anybody in this room, you can achieve this without referring anybody. And I'm going to show you that right away. Okay? So remember this one right up here. This is a very important position. This would be considered your main position. Okay? And remember this, because as we go through this, I'll be bringing Sarah on and we'll be talking all about this one right here. Okay? So now I want to kind of show you how you can do all of this by yourself. Now, before I get into this, I like to bring Sarah on just to explain how I came about this strategy, because it was something she said on a call a few months ago that had me think, oh my goodness, we have something very powerful here. So Sarah, if you could come on and just explain to people how this all happened. I think it's very important that we tell them that.
Absolutely. There's some power in it. So those of you that are not new to the space, you understand what decentralization is. And those of you that are new, you will learn this as you go. Short version is you are allowed to have as many wallets as you would like. And Carl is going to dive into a strategy on that specific topic. My point is, when I was looking at this and I said, okay, I started at the end of last December of 2024. And I took to the calculator that you see here, and I started my very first account with a minimum deposit of $125. You can see under the total US dollar amount, that's potentially worth over $3,000 in 1 year's time. So I said, well, what the heck? I'm a mom of 4, and Christmas is a super stressor when it comes to the fiscal responsibility. When I realized I could have a wallet here that could potentially help lessen that fiscal burden and the stressors involved with it, to me, my mind just totally exploded. And I went to Carl and the team and I said, well, wait, what if I did a wallet for my son's AAU baseball? What if I did a wallet for the Disney trip my kids are hounding me for this summer? Just all of these things, and my ideas were just going crazy. And then I brought it to Carl, and Carl just took it to the next level. So hang on, take notes, and pay close attention.
Thanks, Sarah. So this is what made me think about this. I've always wanted to have multiple positions in a business, but businesses today are not built for multiple positions. And the reason is because they do the pass up commissions or lots of breakage goes to the company or so forth. And what happens is the actual liquidity pool gets drained very, very quickly. And that's why having multiple positions, or what they would call stacking out there, is not beneficial to any program. It literally destroys it and liquidates the actual pool, okay, the monetary pool. So when I looked at what this does, because there's no pass-up commissions, there's nothing that goes directly to the owners, whatever's unclaimed stays in the contract. That tells me now that each wallet is completely independent of the other. If it doesn't follow the exact spiderweb qualifications of getting a personally referred wallet for each level and then upgrading the staking, then you don't qualify to earn the earnings which stay in the contract. Doesn't go to anybody. So what happens in old types of programs where people do that, they never have to follow the qualifications. They just sit back and they just let the money flow up to them. Well, sorry, not here. This doesn't work. But if you do it with the intention of following exactly what needs to be done by every single wallet that's in here that you have, you can get into what I call the double dip. So now, and we're just going to look at 4 wallets for right at this moment here. We're going to increase that to 12 in a moment. We're going to talk about just 4 here, and we're only going to talk about 125. Okay, some of you might say, well, that's not really interesting. Watch how interesting this gets. Okay, main wallet. Remember, this is the big one you have to think about right now. Sarah's going to be talking about this one after I'm done. Okay, what we're going to be talking about is what these wallets down here can do for you. 125 in each wallet. That's $500. This is what can be done. So let's go to the calculator. So 8.3 is roughly $125. We bring that out to a year. Oh, $3,000. Yippee. Okay, wait till we go 2 years out. Okay, this is where everything starts to make sense. Okay, so at the end of 24 months, we're at 76,000. So somewhere between 20 and 22 months, each one of those wallets, the main one, wallet number 2, 3, and 4, have all hit 50,000. Now, remember what I said that happens when we go back? Right? If we went back to, let me just click back, 50,000, right? This is your own personal wallets we're talking about right now. And I only want you to think about that. I'm not thinking about sharing this with anybody, you know, like your brother or sister that annoy you, or your neighbors that you're not happy with, or whatever. It really doesn't matter. This is all about you. You can do what I call the bucket list wallets. You know, you can, Sarah's was Christmas and her baseball for her son and the Disney trip, whatever it may be. We're only going to talk about 3 wallets just at this time right here. Now I'm going to go back to that calculator again. Okay, so now we're going to go back to year 2. Okay, so the end of year 2, we're at 76,524. What do you think is going to happen at the end of year 3, 36 months in? Each one of those wallets will have compounded $1.8 million in them. So we're looking at literally $8 million sitting there with the 4 of those wallets. You doing absolutely nothing. You sitting back, walking away for 3 years, coming back and collecting $8 million based on today's market value. This is math. This is just math. There's no, strings attached to this. So if I go back to this here, you will progress naturally and organically from V1 to V2 to V3 to V4 to V5. You won't be able to go past here with the 4 wallets. I'm sorry, but all you're going to earn is around 25% of $3 million. What is that? $750,000 a month? I'm sure you could get away with that. But you're probably asking, well, why can't I get to V6? Well, you actually can. In fact, we got one member of our team that's already set himself up to be there in less than 3 years. Now, V6, that requires 3 venerables with a venerable underneath. So you are looking at $9 million in here. So that's $3 million underneath each $1 million venerable that you have there. And then that's paying 30% of 9 million. You can do the math. I don't think I need to go there. Okay? So that's just what can happen if you do something like this. So what happened here is wallet number 1, 2, and 3 just referred 3 other wallets. They could be your own, or they could be somebody you wanted to share it with. You have a choice. Now, if you notice back here, there's 125 here on the main. You notice here, there's 325. Now, if you're wondering, why is that 325? Well, that's because 125 will pay you commissions for level 1. 325 will pay you commissions for level 2. And again, this can all be self-done if you wanted to. Again, you could be that person that just doesn't want to talk to people anymore. You're done with them. You could sit there and in less than 3 years, you could be a V6. See, this is what is so unique about this program, is that anybody can do this. So now, this might look pretty good to you guys, right? Well, what if you were someone who goes, you know what? I'm going to share this with people. So you got those that aren't and then those that are. Well, what would happen if this happened? So you know what you're doing? Not only are you ranking up in the V status, but so are these, and so are these, and so forth. I just showed you what the volume was like on those. Astronomical. But this is what's possible here. We're already seeing people that are growing like crazy. We are seeing people that are hitting the Dow statuses. So this is something for you to think about. You control. See, it's 525 here. Well, why is that? Level 1, level 2, level 3. Go back to the Spiderware rewards. And that's why you will see that this is your personal wallet needing to increase its staking. I don't think I need to go any further than this. I think this is probably as far as I actually need to go. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up.